Hold on.
We are going
Okay,
live.
Facebook.
We are
Okay,
live. All right.
so you come up in the people I know, right? Right here in the
Yes.
top. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I am
I'm gonna
currently
look for you.
live.
I'm gonna look for you.
Okay.
Nope, hold
Look
on.
for me. Look for
I'm
me.
gonna put your name in.
Look for me.
And
Look for me.
see this, people. Close the door. Look, Jermaine.
He
That's how
did
we're gonna
exactly what
start.
you
I'm
asked
just
him
like
to.
look. That's how we're gonna start off like this.
You said bring in the toilet paper. And he
Yeah,
said,
hold on. I don't
Mima,
see you.
I got you.
Yeah. He said, I got you. I said, go get me toilet paper. Point blank.
And he did just
I
that.
don't see you
He
though.
said, toilet paper, I
Yep.
got you. I got you, Mima.
I don't see. Am I gonna see the people commenting? No. Or you only?
Yeah, because I'll flash it up on the screen. So
Okay.
like if your people came in, I'd be like, yeah, let
Yeah,
the
but
people know who
I
you
don't see you. I don't see your live. Sorry. Hold on.
Tracie.
I see Auntie, the other boy. Oh, 7 hours ago you tagged me. That's all I see.
Tracie. Oh, I can't post it on your
This
timeline because you don't let me do that.
I
So
know, but
you
this light is way too bright. Oh, hold on. No.
you said the sun.
The light is way too
Oh,
bright.
I was like, girl, the sun is gone. The sun went to the other side of
It's
the world.
just way too bright. You go look. Put clothes on. If you're gonna be in my video, put clothes on.
See, so this is how it pops up. You'll see it on the screen. Hey, Melisha. Hey, invite all your
Right?
people. That's
By
that's
who?
Darren's friend from Maryland. That's who
Oh,
Melisha
hey,
is.
Melisha. Hey.
And she could take some
So how
pictures.
do
We
I?
gotta get her down here so she can get like me some headshots and stuff.
Oh,
All right, so
Zayden, move, move,
I
move.
tagged you in it. Hey, twin.
You tag me. Hold on. I gotta find how.
Wow.
Okay. So I see it.
Mr.
Add it to
James
my
is in the
timeline.
building. So so for the
Hey.
men, Corden had a not a very similar because obviously y'all stories are different, but he had an impactful story. And so Tracie has an impactful story. So listen, Corden, all those female friends you got, all those 4.2K followers, invite them in, shall
Oh,
we?
okay. So first and foremost, I'm gonna apologize for anything in my background because my grandson is the most. Zayden, put clothes on. You want to come say hi to the peoples? Come say hi.
Yeah, Zay. Say,
Yeah.
hey folks, how y'all living? This is my Mima. Oh, he can introduce you. You think he'd be up to that? He'd be like, y'all, this is my Mima. And I love her so much because she is so great. You know, that kind of thing.
Come. That's my Mimi.
Nice PJs.
Thing. Be identical.
What?
Yeah. I can't. We're gonna do too much because this is my grandson. Say hi, Nima.
Oh boy.
Personality all day.
Not the light skin poses, sir.
No, that's the rock pose. Yeah. I love him. I can't.
I
Okay,
can't
you're doing
with
too much.
him.
So you're gonna say hello to the people. We've been doing this since he was like 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
May?
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this since he's like, yes, queen.
Yeah, sisters. Yeah.
I
This is
love
gonna be
it.
a fun night. If he's anywhere in this room, it's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here. I am here.
Love him. This is my best friend. He's like a whole essence for me. So when y'all know my story, you know, because he is my youngest daughter wrapped up in a new life.
I have took off my mom's legacy. Now I am the fastest kid on the field.
Come
what
through,
field?
legacy. Claim that, sir.
That's cool.
Yep. You say I'm the fastest kid on the field. In soccer or what?
On soccer. Sometimes basketball.
Sometimes basketball?
Yeah.
I think you're more at soccer though.
I know, I play soccer more than basketball.
Yeah.
Soccer is my
All
favorite.
right, Uriah. I see you, Sunny
And
Sunny.
so one time I was at,
But he gonna tell a story.
and then my friend Caden, he's literally this close to being faster than me, but he's not. So we was running, then we did a race, and I beat him, and he doesn't want to admit I'm faster than him. I beat him, fair and square. He said he doesn't want to admit it. He keeps asking me, can we do a race? I say yes. Guess what? Ends up not doing it. Wait!
Jerry
Hey,
says hello.
Tracie.
Yeah. I'm Jerry. That's
Hi!
I was like, that's Officer Jerry. That's Minister Jerry. You know who he is.
Yep.
Say hi, Zayden. To everybody. That's my best friend. Mm-hmm.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. Go best
He's
friend. That's my best friend.
He's my essence. Like he's my personality plus.
So,
Believe that.
I have a talent. I can make different types of art.
We gotta talk on the podcast, so do your talent real quick.
I
And
have
go
a
sit
talent.
back.
I can make hearts out of my fingers.
What hurts? Show them real quick.
Yes. And I can do this.
Yeah, like,
And
because I'm gonna do this all night, messing with Jermaine.
Listen, Tracie is ready.
Say good night, y'all.
good night, y'all.
Bye,
That's my
Zayden.
essence. Okay. No.
Are you right? Go be great.
Behind me. Go be great. Go see Grandma. Look.
He's like, I won't leave my meme. I want to be in the camera.
Yeah, he want to be.
All right, so we are here. This is episode 1 of I Am Me, You Are You, but we are the same. And that title came from our number 1 guest right here. It's ladies' night. It's the ladies' turn because, you know, for those of you who don't know, I did a series for Black men, and now, you know, Tracie approached me and she was like, oh, we got to do one for the ladies. I said, yes, ma'am, we do. So
yes, ma'am.
The twist about this is that after this episode, Tracie will be my co-host, which means if we bring on another person, she will be here throughout the whole series. And if not, we're just going to have... Girl, yeah.
Stop. I didn't know that. Like,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. That's a blessing.
And then if not, we're just going to have girl talk and people can chime in the comment section. But anyway, as I always do, I want to introduce my lovely guest / future co-host. For those of you who've seen my posts, everything I said is absolutely true about Tracie. Tracie is my big sis, you know. She is amazing. She is very real, very honest, very compassionate, very loving. She's a giver. She's a healer. She's very gifted, very creative. And you know what we're trying to do, and I'm still working on her because I know God's still working on her. We're going to get her like out of her comfort zone and be like, yo, let's do what you were supposed to do. But you know, you'll hear her story later. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tracie Bell Hilliard, aka Kersha. All right.
Blessing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you already know about me, right? I'm gonna come and say this first and foremost. Do not come for me. I am transforming. Like the transformation is real. It only takes a real person that can come sit and do all this. Like right now, I'm blessed and humbled and highly favored because Jermaine is like my essence of everything. She pulls everything out of me. Like I don't even know what to say. Like all day I've been working on like how do I say anything about this young lady? She is so blessed and she is like so talented. Her humbleness and her compassion is like we're here. We stand on the same like I love you and I thank you. I'm gonna try not to cry. We already practiced this before the end of look. You see this? Because I'm a crier.
She's great. She is a crybaby. She gets it from her mama. It's okay. We love y'all because that's how we know that it's real. These aren't fake. This isn't that Denzel one tier. Like she's a boohoo crier. So
no, I cry because
you have emotions and you emote. Oh, you better not hold it in. Anywho, so let's get into it. So Tracie has a story, and I've told people, when I was promoting this, I was like, she has a story. And a part of, I think, why she saw and had the unction to come on is because she saw some of the lives from the Black Man Heal series, and she was like, I think I can do that. And I was like, yes, ma'am, because people need to hear your story.
Yeah. Let's get in.
They need to hear your story because it is not just full of hardships and struggles, but there's a lot of joys in there. There's a lot of moments where she had to overcome. And when I say this lady had to overcome some stuff, she had to overcome. Right? So tell us first and foremost, why did you choose and decide to share your story?
Well, like you put me on the spot, so therefore I'm going to answer you. I was inspired by you because you're grabbing all that has to deal with mental health, and I love it. Like nobody does that, you know what I mean? But you did that, so I said I'll only come on here if you can talk to me and pull out stuff, and I feel like you can. So I'm here. I'm willing. I'm open. You already know I'm open book. So anything for you, boo. Anything for you, I'm on it.
All right. So let's talk about what has Tracie had to. Wow, English. Hello. What has
you lost?
Listen, it's been a long day. What has Tracie?
Wait. First of all, let's start it down. This is gonna be different because I saw your men series, and it was like very like, I know right now it's gonna be like different. We're gonna have fun. Let's go.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course. But we got to get the story. I can't blab about your story and then you not say it. So what is it that you had to overcome? We're talking about like a death of a child at a young age, alcoholism, abuse, misuse. Share with the people, what is it that Tracie has experienced?
So I'm going to tell you about my story from a young age. So I came from a very stable household. In most words, we say stable, like Christian mom, strong woman, fought to make sure that her kids got the best in life. And it's hard to talk about this right now because there's some parts of that that I can understand, and some parts I don't understand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and that strong woman, she took care of us. She made sure that we were good. She made sure she worked hard. She made sure we had the best of life. Um, I'm kind of lost for words because I went through a lot. Growing up, my mom made sure like we were like doing ballet, going to activities. Like we were on top of everything, and watching my mom and seeing my mom, I knew like this is what when I grew up I wanted for my children. You know what I mean? As a single parent. Because I'm gonna talk about single parent because in all actuality, even though my mom had a partner, she was a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
She was a person that made sure we had the best, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard. Like Jermaine, like real talk. Like I'm really thinking about like all we're gonna talk about. Am I really
Mm-hmm.
ready to expose? Maybe not. Because when I think about like the concept, like everything, am I ready to expose? That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem I'm having right now. Do I talk about the hurt, the pain, the joy? Like I don't even know where to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
So I need you to guide me, sis.
Okay.
My little sister always talks to me like, I need you to guide me because I don't want to be emotional. I want to be strong, but my pain, everything I expose, like it's real. Like I'm dealing with
Yeah.
stuff, but I'm also trying to
Mm-hmm.
be like a strong person right now. So I need you to help me. And I didn't want to. Oh God, this is not what it's supposed to go, Jermaine.
That's exactly how it's supposed to go. I got my tissue, so
Oh, it's
if I need to cry one of these
so
eyelashes off, I will do just that.
not. I'm like I don't even know what to talk about because real talk. You already know I don't talk about much,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Let's talk
But
about the
but
abuse
I
because I think, yeah, abuse. I think the one of the worst things in statistics that I've encountered as a therapist is that a
yeah.
majority of Black women have suffered sexual abuse before the age of 10,
Yeah.
and most have
Never
experienced it.
I never really dealt with that. When I say abuse, I don't feel like abuse. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like
Mhm.
probably more so a lot of my mom's actions went over to me. So right now I have a problem with completing things.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mm, mm.
We're gonna knock. Hold on. Give me 1 second. People.
Hey, y'all. There's a lot of things going
Come
on, but
on.
we're going to get through it. If you guys have any questions for
Yeah,
her,
but
feel
you already
free.
know
Send
me,
all of your
sis.
love and your support in the comments because we're going to get her through
Yes,
this.
please. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
We're going to get through
We're,
this.
yeah, we're not. But I didn't even expect this. I had a whole game plan, people. Whole game plan. We was going to talk about like all this and all that, and I feel like there's too much going on. Look. Bye, Papa. I'm sorry. She will never let us on her podcast ever again.
You're here
Get
for
up.
it. So, like, let's go.
I apologize. So the original question was because my head went.
We were talking about
The
abuse,
original
but
question.
you said
I've
you
never
didn't.
been like. It wasn't never like with me physical abuse. Never in my household.
Mhm,
Never. But
mhm.
I think more so like emotional.
Yeah.
Where you have to figure out this, that. Like I think it's more like emotional when it comes to my
Mhm.
family because we're strong as a unit, but we all
Mhm.
have situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the original question was ask me again because I forgot because there's too much going on behind me. I can't do this here. That's why I wanted to go into my she shed because I can't do this
The original one, which was like, tell us about your
here.
story. That one.
Okay, so from when to when, because I got a whole story from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, I don't even know where to begin. What part of that story do you want to know?
Well, let's start at 8 since that's the first thing you can remember. What happened?
Okay, so growing up, my mom came down here to Boston, Massachusetts at a young age. I was born
Mhm.
in Boston.
Mhm.
My mom came here at a young age, and what I remember is my mom being like trying to find her place from the country to the city, which is not easy for anybody at a young age,
Mhm.
18, 19 years old. My mom wanted to make sure that her children were okay and everybody was good. At the time, I was the only child, so I went back to North Carolina. I stayed down there until I was like 6, and then I came back to Boston. From then on, all I knew was a single mom, taking care of us, making sure we were great, because it was me and my brother John, and then my sister years and years later. But at the present time was just me. And then me growing up, all I knew was like my mom, just her, nobody else. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then growing up in Roxbury was kind of difficult for my mom. Um, her being a single parent, her doing to make sure that we had the best in life, working hard. I remember growing up and being in different like daycares,
Mhm.
being at different people's houses because my mom was a single mom, you know. So I feel like this is not going where it needs to go, Jimmy.
It's
I
going
don't
exactly where it
know what
needs
I
to
should talk about,
go.
but oh, I don't know if that's the right place. I don't know because
What's wrong with where
truthfully,
you were
I'm like, well,
starting?
because I feel like I feel like there's no concept to what we're talking about. That's where I'm at.
Every story has a beginning, right? We can't talk about overcoming if we don't know what the story was. So you talked about being in a single parent home with you and your brother because your younger sister came later on and
Yep.
adjusting to country versus city life. That can be difficult, right? Then you were starting to
Not
talk about
because,
all of the
well, not really, because when I left, when my mom took me to my grandma's house and was like, "I need you to care for her until I can, um, country life was the best. Like I want to be, like I want to live in the country. Like I love every aspect of the country, pigs,
mhm,
pigs, dirt road, people being nice, talking to one another. Like I loved every aspect of it. So when I came to the city, it was very hard for me
mhm,
because I didn't like the city. Like I knew
yeah.
country. Like I knew that city life and country life was two different lives. Like you're not nice in the city, but in the country, it's like everybody's like, "Yes, sir. No, sir. How you doing?
Yeah.
How's life?" Like you're checking on your neighbors. You're doing all the humble things that you should do.
Mhm.
So when I came back to the city, I was like I was kind of like, how should I be? Should I be mean? Should I be nice? But my mom and my grandma and my uncles and my aunties, they taught me, yes, sir. No, sir. Respect. You talk to people a certain type of way. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh. So when I got back to the city, I was be a certain. So I had to be two people at one time, which was hard. It was hard because I knew like to the city people, none at all. But in the city, it was like you have to be tough. You got to stand up. You got to, I didn't know anything about that. I knew that you had to be nice, humble, respectful, So when I came back to the city, I think a lot of that was probably an issue because I had to be tough. I had to be standoffish. I had to be mean, and I didn't know how to be mean. You know what I'm saying? I came from the country, so I didn't know how to be mean. So when I came back here, I had to defend myself, protect myself, guard myself, and I'm like, what is that? What does that mean to be like that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
That's good because it's true. As women, we have to figure out how to defend ourselves. As Black women, we have to learn what that means. Do we get aggressive and fight? Do we keep our mouths closed because we're ladies and ladies aren't supposed to yell and be aggressive? What do we do? And oftentimes we have to switch and we have to adjust and adapt to our surroundings because as women, we're looked at as a weaker vessel. And so we constantly are like battling, like, what do I do here?
But that's like the first part of my life. So I think I felt like I always had to be either or. And then I came to the middle. And I was able to work those two things out. So I don't know. I just feel like
okay. Well, let me ask you a very specific question.
Ask me.
When was the first time you experienced heartbreak and what happened? And we're not just talking about relationships. Like, when did you first feel like my world might crush right here?
Yeah. Like, why are you doing that right now? When I lost my daughter.
Okay. How old was she? Take your time. We're here.
Two, 3.
Okay.
I never felt pain like that ever. Whatever I went through in my life, from when I was 8, 12, 15, 18, I never felt pain ever like that. I could deal with most of my pain. But that pain was different. It was unexpected. So that leads me to where I'm at today. I don't like unexpected things.
Yeah.
And I as an adult, I realized that like my biggest pain is when things are unexpected. Because that day was unexpected. And I never even grasped that until now.
Wow.
I never even looked at it like that. I've never looked at it like that. Like, my greatest fear right now, because of what happened later in life was
Mhm.
unexpected things. I never even thought about that until now. And I always thank God for what He's supposed to be all the time. But I never even looked at maybe my pain came from my past.
Mhm.
Because unexpectedly my daughter died.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. And everything that happens in my life that I have a problem with is always unexpected.
Mhm.
So that's probably a lot that goes on with me, and why I feel the way I feel is because every pain that I have is unexpected.
Mhm.
It's so
Wow.
crazy that something from my past is still like
Yeah.
so. All right, eventually I won't cry, people, but I'm a crier, so get with it.
So I
It's
have a
last
follow up. I have a follow up
what?
to that because you mentioned God, and we know anyone who is new to this channel, maybe you don't know, but Jamea loves the Lord, and so does Tracie. So, what is it that keeps you from fully getting to the place in God that you want to be? Like, what is it that makes you feel like you're like the woman with the issue of blood, where you're crawling to Him? What are you carrying that makes you like? That makes you
And
feel
truthfully,
so
I can't
heavy
even
that you have
answer
to
that.
crawl.
I,
Huh?
I'm being real serious. I cannot even answer that because I
Mm,
don't like knowing me and know who I am. I
mm,
can't answer that truly because I don't know what's keeping me from that. I don't know if it's
mm.
past, present, or future. I have no idea. And this is like a beautiful thing for me because tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and be like, oh. You're gonna be like, because things are gonna open. You know, because God is
Mhm.
all merciful for me. He brings
Yeah.
things and He makes things happen for me that
Mhm.
benefits me in the long run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
knew this would happen. Never knew I'd be in this situation. Never knew that. But tomorrow, I guarantee you, it'll be like, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, Jermaine knows what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because with me, it's a lot of like, huh, huh, huh. Oh, I got it. You know what I mean? So I can't even answer that question, man. I really can't. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know because I'm still learning. I'm still dealing with grief, hurtfulness, abuse. You know what I mean? Like all these things are here. I have a testimony and I can share my testimony all day, every day. And this young lady knows my testimony. So she knows. She's been with me through crying, frustration, aggravation, the lack of knowing. But
Mhm.
I do know. I do know. You understand? And maybe my problem is my biggest fight because I run from what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
run from what I know.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest
Mhm.
struggle. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like I have all these things on top of me,
Mm.
all these things, you know. But
Yeah.
nobody would know I have all these things on top of me because I
Yeah.
don't act like that.
Right.
I don't
Right.
display like that because God taught me to be humble, compassionate, loving, caring, and have a sense of mind, common sense. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
a heart.
Yeah.
I have a heart.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer these questions like real talk, but I've been through a lot and I'm trying to express it. This might not be the best. Maybe I need to get everything out right now because I'm not accustomed to this. I don't sit and tell my story. I talk to people and tell my story, but I
Mhm.
don't share my story with everybody. You know, I've
Mhm.
been through everything. I've been through
Yeah.
enough where people say, "Why do you have a? How are you you still who you are? And went through. Only God knows my heart. I don't know. I've been through. And when I say you, and, and I'm still here, I still know who God is. I still love him. I appreciate him. I magnify him at all times. Nobody can take that away from me, because that's what holds me. I think that's what holds me together, because I love and appreciate who God is.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm too
No,
much.
that's good. No, that's good. Because we need to hear that. Like, I think, listen, let me tell you, there are some times in my sessions where I'm just literally listening to the stories that I hear, and I'm like, God, I thank you that I know you and I found you, because my life is nothing compared to Tracie's. Nothing. And I'm a big baby. So like sometimes I'm like, oh my God,
I'm a big baby.
Yeah, but you've been through some things. So I feel like you have the right to. I'm like, oh my God, someone rejected me again. My life is crumbling. And it's like, okay, Jamae. So I mean dramatic. Like there are people who are literally fighting for their life and you're mad for what? So I mean, you covered some very important themes that a lot of women of color, or just women in general, have to go through: abuse, grieving, overcoming like hardships as a mother, losing a child, dealing with bodily issues like wellness, like back issues and leg. She didn't say this.
Hip issues, leg issues, high blood pressure, all that. Like, girl. Yeah, like when I talk about like I don't really complain about who I am or what goes on in life. But when I tell my story to the young women I with, when I tell my story to people that need to hear it, when I see people on the street that might be going through what I've gone through, it's like, it's just natural. Because I know your story. You know what I mean? It's not like one story, two stories, three stories. I can literally on 2 hands, I've been through 9 different things like that people have gone through in life. How do I deal? I trust and believe in God.
Yeah.
Through it all, I learned to Jesus. I learned to trust in him. So when I have all this stuff, everybody's like, how do you deal with this? Like, you don't understand. Like, you have to trust. I trust in him because he kept me through my worst time. Through my best time, he's kept me. I probably shouldn't even be here right now, but he's kept me. I can't depend on nothing else but him. Growing up, I knew about God. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles down south. The foundation of what I know is Jesus. Without him, that's my foundation. That's how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when my mom came down here as a single parent, found God. You understand? You need to know your word. You need to trust in him. And even as a backslider, because I have no problem admitting, because I backslide. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you, y'all can laugh at me if you want. Y'all can say whatever you want. I can be like juiced out of my mind. Like, if somebody says, "Oh, God's not real," what are you talking about? God is real.
Yeah.
And people like, what are you talking about? Like, you're eating a potty, and I'll say, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that I know that God is real. I trust in God. First and foremost, because that's my foundation. Not everybody has the same foundation, but I thank God that he gave me the foundation to say, I trust in you. Period. Because he kept me through a death of my baby. He kept me through that. He kept me through being caught up in prostitution. He kept me in my dysfunctional relationships. When I say I can count how many times God has kept me when I shouldn't be kept. So that's like when she said I have a story, like y'all don't understand. Like my story might be emotional, but it's heartfelt because God has kept me despite of my faults.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going through journeys.
Yeah.
I'm going through tribulation.
Yeah.
Because when we say mental health is real, it is real because there's that with the mental is with the belief. You know what I'm saying? You do. You trust in God, right? Yep. But at the same time, yes, you still got a mental. You still got emotions. You still got feelings you're going to go through. But you have to trust in Him, in His word, and what He says to believe. So I don't even know. Like I feel like crazy right now because it did not go as planned.
Yeah.
I sat in the shed all day. Oh man, I'm gonna talk to Jermaine, and it's gonna be like blah, and it didn't go as planned. But I still thank God because it didn't. With Kershaw, nothing goes at what Tracie Bell Hilliard, aka Kershaw, nothing goes as planned. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing goes as planned. Nothing. But
listen, all of that stuff that Tracie just said, this literally happens. Like now, mind you, me and Tracie used to go to stores and we used to hang out. Like I used to be over at her house all the time. Now, when I tell you I hated going anywhere with Tracie, is because someone somewhere knew her and we were going to the store for aluminum foil. One aisle, and we can't get through that one aisle without 5 people stopping her. And dare someone share their story, she talking about Jesus and she's speaking in tongues, praying for folks, and she's just almost having people laid out in aisle 7 of Stop and Shop. Like it's just the thing. Like Tracie talk about a ministering evangelist.
I talk about
that everything. Is Tracie.
Yeah, well, I talk about everything. And like because I experience all kind of stuff, so I just feel like when I come across people, they're there, they're talking to me, I'm receiving whatever God does at that moment, it happens. And I'm not talking about like I'm like that. Whatever God puts in my heart, I'm talking about. If I start praying, I'm praying about. If I start speaking in tongues, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I'm a vessel. I am a vessel. And Jermaine tells me all the time, like, girl, like, you need to stop playing, girl. Like, why are you playing? Like, girl, she's very hard on me, but I love her for that because she keeps me. Like, you know what I mean? She keeps that part of me. And I know I look crazy right now. Look. First and foremost, I wanted to start this off by saying, don't come for me, y'all. I'm going through a transformation. So my teeth is missing. Do not come for me.
No one is worried about your teeth right now. Ain't nobody worried about.
But you know, I right now, like I feel like 2 ways. Can I explain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one way I feel like completely humbled and like, and another way I feel like, well, Jermaine knows me. She knows I'm like this. Really? That I do that? Like she knows me because like I feel both ways. I feel like I'm like completely humbled that I'm here right now, that I'm able to talk to your friends, our friends, anybody about anything. But I feel like I just jacked out all the way up. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. So help me get through. Because truthfully, this turned into a whole, like, you're going to be my therapist right now, Jermaine. You should already know that. So get to
It
work.
tends to be
Like,
a lot of
come on.
people's
I
informal
can't see
therapy.
what anybody's saying anything.
No, people are not in the comments really much right now. But you guys, if you have any questions, any comments for Tracie, please feel free, and I will throw them up here for her to see. But something that you,
Oh, that was Jerry. I see him. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I see the comments in the corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're in there. So something that you mentioned, and I think is a good thing to circle back to, is you are a mother, and you are not just the mother of one that passed, you're a mother of 3 total, right? And you have a strong passion for your babies because they look just like her. There is no guessing who their mother is because they look just like her.
Oh yeah. All day.
Yeah, and then you saw in earlier in the episode that she has a grandson who too looks just like her. So
I got 2
as a
out.
Oh yeah, there's another one. So as a mom, as a Black mother, single Black mother, how were you able to show up for your children in spite of all of the things that you were going through and trying to mentally, emotionally overcome? How'd you do it?
Well, not easier said than done, but one thing about me, I've experienced so much in life, and I'm just real. Like I'm honest about everything. I try to make sure my children are not naive to nothing. When I say nothing, nothing. Like, so being a mom, a single mom, like I had to make sure that like you knew what was going on, you knew what time, you knew about rules and respect. I was like this with my kids. It took a long time because I wasn't like that with my kids. When I first had my son, girl, bye. I was still young. I was still young. I gave birth when I was 19, and I was still in that you know, let's go party. Like I need to go hang out with the peoples. So I took advantage of my mom. I did not try to, but I felt like, okay, you can take care of my son. And my mom was like real strict. Like we came from a strict background. Like my grandpa didn't play no games, my grandma didn't play no games, so my mom didn't play no games. And when I used to run the street and think that I was going to leave my son with my mom, she was like, no, ma'am, no, get your kid. I'm gonna DCF on you. I'm like, oh, what? So my mom like kind of snapped me back, like you better get your kid. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna ever do that again and leave my kid with my mom. I'm gonna take my kid with me. So when I ran the streets, it wasn't good. I took my kid with me, but I felt like I was being responsible because I have my son with me. You know what I mean? I have my wig with me. I have my son with me. Nobody can tell me like anything because I have my kid with me. What I made him endure probably wasn't the best, but he felt like I'm not safe. You know what I mean? Like, but it was kind of different because it was like, oh my God, like, my mom said I couldn't leave my son with her, so I'm gonna take my kid with me and I'm gonna run the streets. It wasn't good, trust me. As I got older, I realized like I had to be more responsible for my kid. And I think after my son, I was like, I got it. I gotta chill out. You know what I mean? I gotta do what I gotta do for my children. Then I had it like when I was defiant, then I got on my track, and then another struggle came. You know what I mean? So I had to leave my mom's house with all 3 of my children. At that time, I had Josiah, and then 2 years later, I had Imani, and then 10 months later, I had my auntie. So I was like, oh, I gotta leave my mom's house for all three of my children due to not nothing bad. It was like lead paint in the house, and my youngest two, Imani and my auntie, got really sick with lead poisoning. So I had to make a choice to either leave my mom's house, which I know nothing about. Like I just knew my mom, you know what I mean, my family. So I had to leave my mom's house and go into a family shelter. Oh, no, which was a whole another process, you know. And right then, I think I realized, like, girl, you got to grow up. Like, you have to be a whole mom. Different situation. You're not with your mom or your family anymore. You're like over here, and you got to figure out what's going to happen here. So being in a shelter, family shelter for like 2.5 years, like I had to realize a whole bunch of stuff real quick because I always been with my mom since birth. You know what I mean? Well, since I was like 5, like I was with my mom, so I didn't know nothing else but being with my mom, being with her. So when I had to grow up and leave, even though in with my son, like not being there and trying to be like a dysfunctional teenager, like I think I had to like really grow up. So I had to grow up like quick, but not quick. You know what I mean? I had to be responsible. I didn't know about living anywhere else in my own apartment with my kids. Like I didn't know anything. So when I stayed in the shelter for like 2.5 years, got my apartment, I left. I moved with my children, and I was just like, wow, like this is life. Like this is what's going on. This is what I have to deal with. And being going through that was a struggle in itself with my children because I was like that young mom and I was saying like, oh my god, like this is life, this is what my life is about. And I started talking negative. I started doing negative things. I but I wanted to party still. I wanted to hang out still. I wanted to be around people still. Like so once again I was caught in a situation because I wanted to be a whole grown up, but I wanted to be a whole young woman. Because my youngest, I gave birth to my youngest when I was like 24. So I was still a young lady, still a young woman. I wanted to do the most. I wanted to do the most. So I don't know. Like my journey is like crazy. Like when I tell my story, like people like, huh? That happened? Like, yeah. I went to a whole when I say I went to a whole lot of dysfunctional baby daddies. Like, I just like to God be the glory. Like I don't even want to talk about like the crazy stuff, but I just thank God because I could be mentally insane right now. Like literally crazy. You know what I mean? Losing a child, going the sexual things, going through like the mental instability, like trying to grow up, not knowing. Like my mom taught me everything I need to know as a young lady, but to be a grown up, I had to learn on my own. I mean, she taught me to be a woman because I have foundation from my aunties, like, this is what a woman, but I wasn't at a woman's standpoint at that time. I was still young. So I wanted to hang in the clubs. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that, and I said some negative stuff trying to raise my kids that I take back to this day because I can't fault anybody for what I say. Like that, when I always say you got to be careful what you say. Because back in the day, I used to be like, oh my god, like I can't stand having kids. You know what I mean? Like I was a young mom, and I had 3 kids. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to hang the streets. I wanted to party. I wanted to do all that. And I was like, what? 3 kids, and I used to talk about it. I used to say how much I hated it. And then it's like one day, I don't know. And I can't blame God. I can't say, God, you did this, because he didn't do that. And you got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you say.
True.
Because it might come back. It might really come back, In 1998, my youngest daughter passed away. She was 3.5 years old. And before that, I used to say, oh my God, who wants 3 kids? How the hell? And I feel, this is my feeling, that God said, no, you're not happy with what you have. You're not appreciative to what you have. In 1998, he said, okay, you're not happy. You're not appreciative. You don't have joy. You don't have compassion that you have 3 beautiful children. I'm not saying he took my daughter away, but at the end of the day, he's like, okay, I got you. I got you. 1998, my daughter died. And when she died, I went through a whole turmoil. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't want nobody to think wrong. I'm not blaming God, not saying God took my daughter away. But you got to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
How you say.
Yeah.
I learned a valuable lesson that day. And so as an adult, I work with young women that don't appreciate anything that they have. Anything. So my job, constantly, I'm talking about, be careful what you say and how you say it. You don't know what tomorrow has. You have no idea. Every lesson that I went through in life, God has showed me, and I'm just like this. God, you like I can only do that. You know what I mean? Because you have to be careful of how you say things. Period. And that's my biggest thing at work right now, is like talking to these young women and saying, like, you have to be very careful, because they don't care. They do not care. They do not care. And that's the issue I'm having right now in life. Like, people don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care what they say, how they say it, what they do at all.
Right. True.
I tipped off, but I just like I'm really like. And
Well,
he knows right now what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm
She is overwhelmed and emotionally tapping out. Yeah.
I'm for the long haul. I just want to make sure that, like, at the end of the day, like, whatever I say, how I say it, people understand. That's my like you understand, you can grasp, like, and everybody's looking at me like, oh, she got her on this mental health stuff. She mentally no, I'm not. I'm great. I say we're
great. I say that all the time. I'm like, go be great, Trey. Go be great. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I think I expected this whole thing that you would ask certain questions, because I feel like I'm doing way too much talking, and you know me. I talk when I need to, but I don't. But I need you to ask the questions like, she's like, I asked a great question. I'm like, girl, you ain't asked really nothing, but okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, I did. You just weren't ready for the whole thing, because it's fine. It's fine. This is your first go around. There will be more.
Like,
there will be more.
I'll be ready. Like, so this is the time that I'm gonna get out my emotional stuff. So next time I'm ready, I can, because I didn't expect all this. None of this. I didn't expect that. I was ready, girl. I was sitting in the chair like, I'm gonna answer that. Girl, bye.
But that's not who you are. So We appreciate
damn.
who you are and the things that you are doing. But, this is the end of part 1. Like I said, Tracie will be
No,
back.
it ain't.
Tracie. Wow. What you mean no one ain't?
Okay, but yo, we only have an hour.
I mean, usually that's where their attention spans usually lie. Because, we started at 7:30 and at 9 o'clock, people like, I got to get ready for the next day. And
okay, so first and foremost, I just want y'all to know that I appreciate being on here. I am so sorry. I have like a lot of stuff coming out of me that this young lady, she knows how to bring it out of me. I love you guys. I love her. I hope she has me back on. Next time I will not be so emotional. I promise. I had to get it all out. And I didn't even tell my story.
You told a lot of your story. I don't know what you're talking about. So I need you to stop apologizing because this is who you are. Like, you are all of this. You are giving your authentic self. So yes, next week, Tracie will be back. Same time, same channel. You guys know, 7:30 p.m. because Thursday night is ladies' night. So next Thursday, she will be back at 7:30. We can get a part 2, and then we can segue into, another conversation. But this is a shout out to the ladies. So ladies, if you want to join the live, because this time I told you it's going to be different. I don't have a lineup. We don't have a lineup. We have Jermaine Tracie. So if you want to join, let me know.
Can we get a lineup? Yeah.
Do you want a lineup?
Oh yes. I want some really like phenomenal ladies. You already know who I want to come on. You already know who I want to come on. Kim Empowerment.
Yes. We will develop a lineup. So if you want to join the ladies, Black women, women supporting women, women healing women, if you want to be a part of the podcast, I keep calling the podcast because this is just what it is. If you want to join the podcast, you can message me separately. You can message me here, or you can go to my email at afightingchance@gmail.com. If that's what you so choose. If you have someone who you think would be perfect to share their story and be interviewed by Tracie and I, let me know. Tracie, you get your people together and I will see what we come up with. And then we will have a lineup. But until then, you guys have a blessed night. Tracie, thank you. You did well. I don't know why you're apologizing. You're amazing.
Because you already know that's what I did.
We love you. I love you. See you all next week at 7:30. Bye.